I've got deja vu. This is an almost yearly occurrence now that we make a video where Rangers have announced a brand new manager. We've done this now for Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, for Michael Beale, for Philippe Clement, and now it's Russell Martin. He was announced this morning, and we are going to be chatting to Rangers fans about the appointment. It's not Davide Ancelotti, it's not Steven Gerrard, it's not some of the more sexier names that have been linked in the press. The feelings have been mixed, that's for certain, on social media. But what do fans in real life think? Let's go find out. What were your initial thoughts on the appointment?
Well, not too happy.
Okay, how come?
Because the way you look at it is, right, he got Southampton up, okay? So then you're saying to yourself, well, is Rangers bigger than Southampton in the league? No, the Premier, and he's got a certain way of playing. Up here, you have to be able to change it because you're playing against a back 10, so everything else you have to change. But then again, you have to give him a chance.
What about in Europe? Because you've obviously relied on those Thursday nights, how good they've been down the years. Do you think he'll have to change from Motherwell at home versus...
Yeah, definitely. You can't just be doing it the same way all the time. He definitely has to change it a bit.
And it rumbled on for quite a while, didn't it? Would you have taken him over Ancelotti or Gerrard, or who was your main choice?
I took Gerrard back.
Gerrard, yeah.
I took Gerrard back. But then again, we wanted Beale back and he didn't do anything, so you just have to wait and see.
Any memories of him as a player here?
No, not really. He didn't. I didn't think he was that good.
I think he was there for 6 months, wasn't it?
Yeah, you couldn't really tell. It was just it was a bad time and everything else. So we'll just have to wait and see.
But you're fully behind him now that he's a manager?
Behind him now. Now he's got the job, you have to be behind him.
James, he's met him before, yeah? Mm-hmm. Do you remember him as a player much? Happy?
Yes.
Yes. You've got a hat for him in your bag? Nice. You'll be the first fan to meet him today, I reckon. Press conference is at 11, so I don't know. How's the reaction been to Russell Martin becoming the new Rangers manager?
I think in general, he wouldn't have been fans' first choice. I think names linked, specifically Steven Gerrard, the former boss, and Davide Ancelotti, a lot of fans would have preferred those two. But I think that might start to change now. We're going to hear from Russell Martin in the next hour or so. And I think he's going to upsell his possession-based attacking brand of football, which I think Rangers fans will eventually stick to him back.
Isn't that a bit of a worry for the Rangers fans? That's what people were saying about Clement before he came in, and maybe Gio as well, was this style of play. Mm-hmm. But then it just never seemed to happen.
Yeah, but I do think that Martin is more dogmatic with his approach to his style. You saw it in the Premier League, they won one of their first 14 games, Southampton. He was sacked before Christmas.
A couple of fans starting to turn up, so let's see if we can even see Russell Martin actually turn up. He's already here? Oh, no way, so we missed him.
I think he's at the site.
Did you miss him as well?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
And the site gates.
So you've not been able to give him the hat yet then?
No, they've just been told to put this out, which makes me think he's got to walk out the door. I don't know.
See, look, everybody's stopping listening.
This is what I love about it. He's obviously a Celtic fan. He's pulled up and he's given a wee boon.
Who was your number one choice for manager then?
Well, actually, I'd be honest, it didn't feel like there was a lot of candidates about it. I didn't have one specifically. I didn't want Gerrard back because I think that story was done. Ancelotti didn't have the experience. You're buying off his name. Martin at least has the experience, but I think the biggest concern with Martin is perhaps the fact that his style of play. But I don't know, are we all just buying into the same theory here? Because John Walker, the football expert, he's been on radio this morning and he's been reassuring fans that Rangers are going to score a lot of goals, but they'll be 1-1 at the back and they'll be potentially exposed.
But it's all these things that you talk about, their style of play, etc. That's what people said about Gio, about Clement, and it didn't necessarily go well. So it doesn't really, until he's in there, you just don't know, do you?
Well, one thing that one of my mates has said for the past few seasons is that the previous board have sort of panded to the fans what they wanted. They went with Gerrard, they got the result in the end, and then obviously he left. But I think with this, it's the unpopular choice, but you've got to trust those in charge because I assume they know what they're doing, given the fact that they're about to plunge £20 million and possibly other funds into it, and this is a long-term project, so it's going to be Russell Martin's biggest job. But
do you remember him as a player here?
Do you know what? I do, and somebody had posted a clip up of, I think, when Callum McGregor scored against Celtic, and I think Martin was had a wee error, if I'm right in thinking.
really?
But I mean, it was a short.
I saw his one goal going around on social media today as well. The Hearts goal at home, little tapping at the back post.
It was a short stint. But listen, he's going to know what he's getting himself into. He's going to have to win over the fans. But
do you think your players will suit his style of play?
I don't know.
That fast attacking, because all your fast attacking high press players seem to get injured.
I know
all the time, except from Raskin.
Yeah.
You look at Sterling, who could probably do that.
Sterling can do that, but you're looking for.
Casemiro was obviously here last season. I don't know if he'll be here on loan next season.
I don't think he will.
But all these high paced players and these high pressure players, I don't think you've really got a lot of that in the squad.
Well, that's I think a big part of it. They're saying that the personnel is going to have to be spot on to be able to play to his style, because we're told he doesn't have a plan B, and also in Europe, how can he combat this style, because Rangers
versus a Livingston
versus a Livingston, because Rangers of current had the complete opposite, where they were able to get a result in Europe that they couldn't break down, the likes of St Mirren, Motherwell, who beat Rangers about a million times this season. So
but for now, you're happy? Gonna back him?
I am slightly on the fence, but not as I'm not down the other end where Rangers fans I think this is going to be an absolute disaster. I just think watch this space.
But yeah, they have set up these little barriers here. There's one or two fans starting to turn up, so hopefully he at least can just come out before the press conference starts. We don't know. It's actually so quiet. I can't believe how quiet it is. It's freezing as well. For people watching this far in the future, it's June and it's like, look at the skies, and it's like 10 degrees out here. It's cold, but yeah, so quiet. This geezer up here is a Rangers fan, didn't want to be on the video. He was telling me that when Gerrard signed as manager, it was mobbed out here, so much so they had to open the turnstiles and let people in the stadium to see him. But it just goes to show, doesn't it, like where Rangers are right now and how the fans kind of feel about this appointment. But yeah, like it could still go well. Doesn't mean to say that it's not going to go well for him. I'm keeping an eye on that door in case he does come out, but I'm also looking for fans who there aren't many. Rangers fan?
Yes, I am. Yes.
What are your initial thoughts on the Russell Martin appointment?
Yeah, it's probably not the one that I would wanted, but we need to back him straight away.
Who would have been your number one?
To be honest, Steven Gerrard coming back would have been my number one choice. Yep. However, with the big changeover, big takeover, I think that it's exciting times. We just need to get the recruitment right and everybody get back behind the new manager, and we'll see where we go.
You talk about the recruitment, what kind of positions do you think you need to fill?
To be honest, most of them. I think we have recruited reasonably well. However, there has been some people that have been recruited that haven't worked out, but most positions I'll leave it up to them to sort that out.
Right, I'm going to risk getting a coffee from the club cafe. Still so quiet around here. I want to get this video up ASAP. I've already spoke to quite a few fans, as you've already seen from the video, but I'm going to risk running in for a coffee and hope that old Martin doesn't come out. Oh, it's so quiet this morning, isn't it? I know. Yeah, it's too quiet. I can't. Apparently when Gerrard was here, it was quietest you've ever seen it here for a managerial appointment. There you go. So everybody's struggling right now. Right, have a good one, yeah. Everyone's struggling right now to get fans. There's barely anybody here, but retail and cafe open as usual. Can I just have a flat white, please?
Are you setting it away?
Taken away. What are your thoughts on the new manager? We'll see. Time will tell. Sorry to accost you while you're just about to go into the shop. What are your thoughts on the new manager situation here?
I think you've got to give him a chance, to be fair. You can't just see what happens.
Do you remember him much as a player here? 2018 on loan? You do?
Didn't have a great start. But
what about for Scotland? Was he alright for Scotland? He's got a few caps.
I think he was not too bad, but he's been not too bad.
Yeah. And so who was your number one managerial appointment? Who do you reckon? Who would it have been?
Either him or Ancelotti.
Him or Ancelotti over Gerrard?
I don't know Gerrard, but he's already been here.
Ancelotti, I'd have said.
Ancelotti for you. But I think with the expectations of the previous managers that came in being so high, it went wrong quite quick. Expectations now are quite low. So could it go quite well because of that, do you think?
I think it might. You never know.
Give me a chance, see what happens.
And the money as well, you just don't know.
And what about transfers? He's going to have a big summer on his hands, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, which positions do you need to fill the most?
Striker.
Centre-backs as well.
Keep on.
If he wants to play high press and football, you need some quick centre-backs, I think, to be able to get back and recover. So
Sittler's alright, but just need somebody to go with him.
So I'll ask you my last question. How many trophies are you going to win in his first season?
Treble. 2.
You're going for 2?
I'll go for 2.
Oh, what nice lads. It was worth going in there for the coffee now. A couple of Rangers fans.
Yep.
Are you here just purely because of the new managerial appointment? Going to see if you can see him?
Harry's actually off school today.
Oh, okay.
So he was out at work with me, so we've just popped in to see if we could see what's going on.
Nice day to be off school. Come and see the new manager, hopefully.
Yeah.
And what are your initial thoughts? Are you happy?
I'm actually quite happy. I think he's a guy who's going to bring identity to the club. You know, everybody's been wanting an identity. How do we play? He's got a style of play. I think we're going to dominate games, so I think it's a decent appointment.
So you're probably the most positive fan I've spoken to today. I don't see why people are too negative about him. I think he's, like you say, got a good, hopefully, style about him, and he can come and change a few things. And
I think people are looking at the Premiership, at his record there, but have a wee look further back at the Championship. It's the toughest league in the world to get out of. He done well.
Yeah, he did.
Getting out of there.
Won the playoffs, didn't he, to win that?
Rave reviews with our style of play, so I think everybody might turn quite quickly.
Yeah. And so who was your number one for the job? Would it have been Russell Martin or somebody else?
Steven Gerrard.
Stevie G. Yeah, he's a legend, ain't he, Stevie G? Would he have been your number one as well?
To be honest, I wasn't sure. I thought it might have been the Ancelotti guy that got it.
Yeah.
Thought that might have been quite exciting, but then again, if he came, people would be mourning.
Love the dedication. You're out here braving the elements, which should be a lot nicer in June.
Hopefully it won't rain.
Yeah, should be a lot nicer than what it is right now. But fair play to you for coming out. Are you here to see the new manager? Hopefully get a glimpse, yeah?
Yeah, I'd like to get a glimpse. There's a bit of buzz about the place. There's more people here than I thought would be if you read the online comments.
Yeah, well,
so it's quite nice.
I heard about when Gerrard got announced, it was like packed out here, whereas
uh-huh.
obviously a little bit different today.
Superstar household name, this is slightly different.
What are your initial thoughts on Russell Martin then?
Well, when I first heard the name, I hadn't heard of him, and that did worry me.
Even though he'd played here as well, on loan?
Yes, because he was slightly forgettable when he played here, unfortunately. But I probably did what every other Rangers fan did yesterday and spent all day learning everything I could.
Yeah. You do forget those loan players, don't you? When they come in for 6 months and they do a bit of a job, you don't remember.
And it was a bad spell when he was here. So it wasn't a lot of happy headlines at that point. But I think that's going to help him. He's not an alien to Scottish football. He obviously has knowledge of the club from his time here. He wanted to come back.
He seemed more keen than Ancelotti and Gerrard.
Yes.
It seems like maybe it was in their court, it was maybe in Ancelotti's court.
Yes.
And maybe he's turned it down. Who knows what happens behind closed doors?
I have a suspicion maybe Ancelotti wasn't ready to come straight away. We need to start straight away. 3 seasons round the corner, Champions League qualifiers round the corner, the transfer window.
Yeah.
So
you need to get cracking, don't you?
Yes, and the fact that he's here now, and he's starting now, that's very promising.
Who was your number one choice? Obviously, Gerrard, Ancelotti, Dyche maybe was thrown about.
I'd like to sound at Ancelotti coming here, getting his first managerial job in his own right.
Okay,
The contacts he would have, I'd really like to sound of that. But at the same time, we need to get going. We can't sit around and wait.
And so, how many trophies are you going to win in Russell Martin's first season?
That's a very good question. I would like to see we would win something. I think the league's maybe a big ask. The league is a big ask. But why can't we compete for a cup? It's not going to be Europe, and I think the league's a big ask.
Okay. So you're going to take a cup in his first season?
I'll take a cup. We did for Clermont. We're quite happy with the League Cup, and we thought this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Let's
we'll
see
give
where
a
it
chance.
goes. I had absolutely no idea that the press conference was this morning when I turned up, and that he'd actually be in here today. Could have been happening at the training centre. There was no pictures of him actually here when it was announced this morning, so it's all obviously done remotely, but all I was here to do was to chat to fans anyway. I feel like I've spoken to him enough now. It'll probably be my luck that he'll probably nip out of that door as soon as I leave, but I'm getting out of here. I'm editing this video and getting it up for you guys. Let me know what you think about the new appointment in the comment sections below, and I'll see you all later.